Hey guys, it's Michael and Embassy.
We are here in Sejong, the so-called failed capital of South Korea.
But we're gonna show you the top 10 things to do in this so-called no jam, boring city.
The capital of South Korea is Seoul, but in 2007, the government controversially decided to move most of the administrative branch out of the city due to its large population and traffic. The new administrative capital was called Sejong, named after the most famous king in Korean history. Sejong refers to the city as well as the province that was created for it. They chose an empty valley, and in the past 15 years, the city has gone from literally nothing to around 400,000 people. Because it was planned, the city was promised to be a shining example of modern design with every amenity imaginable and have the best quality of life possible. However, many people consider it a failed city because despite its quality housing, parks, transportation, and everything else, nobody wants to live there because it's far from Seoul and doesn't have many major attractions. We think Sejong is an amazing city, so we intend to show you just how much you can do without leaving the province. These are the top 10 things to do in Sejong, plus some bonus items, so stick around to the end. The first item is Lake Park, the largest park in Sejong. But it's so much more than just a simple park. There are tons of amenities and events, but here's just a short list of what you can do. The park has many beautiful winding trails, and you can bike and walk through forests, over water, and through marshes. The park has several convenience stores and cafes, as well as a sandy beach for sunning. There are interesting playgrounds, a splash pad for kids, every sports court imaginable, and there's even an RC track. This makes Lake Park the ideal place to have a picnic in Sejong. There's always something happening at Lake Park. While filming the intro to this video, we ran into this Pungwoo demonstration accidentally. Lake Park really comes to life during its festivals. In the fall, the Sejong Festival has large concerts, tons of booths and activities, food trucks, and an amazing fireworks display over the lake. In May, the Fall and Flower Festival has many trees lined with sparkling fireworks that light the night sky in the most magical way. Due to its central location, free entry, and beautiful surroundings, Lake Park is at the top of our list.
Bear Tree Park is located far north of the Sejong province. It's exactly what it sounds like, a park full of bears and trees. There are several types of bears in the park, mostly Asian black bears in large enclosures. You can pay a few dollars to get vegetables to throw to the bears, and they love to stand up and they're great at catching the food. There are other bears such as grizzly bears in the park as well. We've seen people question the quality of life of the bears. From what we can tell, they seem happy, have relatively large enclosures, and are healthy. We aren't experts, but it's definitely better than a lot of zoos. The park also has many beautiful gardens and topiaries everywhere, as well as some greenhouses and a lookout tower. It's a beautiful location and you can easily spend half a day in.
Sejong is a uniquely beautiful city to take a stroll or bike through. Compared to similarly sized cities in Korea, there are so many interesting buildings to see, and the bike paths are especially lovely. Connecting Sejong and Daejeon is a motorway with a famous bike path covered in solar panels. You've probably seen a viral internet post about it before. I recommend you bike in the downtown area called Bangchukcheon. This bike path passes by lovely grass areas, well-lit water features, and even a water show in the summer. There are 2 rivers running through the city with bike paths on each side and plenty of parks and benches. If you download the bike share app Oling, you can rent a bike for only 1,000 won. It's super easy and there are literally thousands of bikes around the city to rent. But even if you don't get a bike, it's an amazing place to take a walk.
Just next to Lake Park is the Sejong Arboretum. This large property is home to an amazing variety of indoor and outdoor nature locations. The indoor greenhouses have a jungle, a desert, and a themed area. Outside is a massive garden full of beautiful flowers, displays, grasses, trees, topiaries, and more. There are smaller greenhouses and pavilions dotting the arboretum as well. You can easily spend half a day here wandering the grounds and admiring the beautiful displays. The Sejong skyline is super interesting compared to most Korean cities, and is even more interesting at night. One of the best ways to enjoy the night view is Meta 45 Cafe. This cafe is on the 45th floor of one of the city's tallest buildings. It has amazing upscale atmosphere and is surrounded by stunning views. They have a brown cheese croffle, which is to die for. If you only have one night to spare, we recommend this be your last stop.
There are 2 really great temples in Sejong that we recommend you check out. The first is Yongpyeong. This one is located right outside the city and is relatively easy to get to by taxi or bus with a little bit of walking. Nestled up against a hill, this beautiful temple is a serene place to relax and spend a few hours. If you're a nature lover but don't have all day to spare, this is one of our favorite spots outside the city. Hiking trails connect to several mountains in the area, so this could be an ideal spot for a hiking day. The temple also has temple stays where you can spend some time sleeping at the temple and learning from the Buddhist monks, which is a great cultural experience we highly recommend. Byamsa is the second temple we recommend in Sejong. This one is further from the city and is much harder to access without a car, but we think it's worth it because of the incredible atmosphere. This temple is far away from any cities, and its isolated environment means it's incorporated into the nature around it. You could bring a picnic lunch or visit before going to Gobok Reservoir, which is very close by.
Korea is known for its animal cafes, but you don't have to stay in Seoul. Sejong has several animal cafes and indoor zoos. Next to Lake Park is a great bird cafe, full of beautiful lovebirds, cockatoos, parakeets, and parrots. Many of them can land on you, and you can even rent some to land on your table, which is absolutely adorable. We have also visited an indoor zoo, which has all sorts of small animals, birds, and reptiles. The condition of some of the animal enclosures wasn't the best, but the animals seemed healthy at least. It was a fun way to burn a few hours and hang out with some cute critters.
Koreans love to hike, and basically every mountain in the country has a trail on it. In Sejong, we recommend Jeonwol Mountain because of its amazing view over the city and relatively simple hike. The mountain is around 200 meters tall and takes between 1 and 2.5 hours to hike to the top and back down. Jeonwol has an amazing vista overlooking all sides of the city, with rivers and Lake Park visible from the top. At the summit, there are tons of picnic benches, making this a perfect way to enjoy nature for an afternoon. The trail starts at Mugunghwa Park, which is a beautiful park in the spring as well, but we visited in late fall, so we just went straight up the mountain. If you're looking to get some good physical activity, we recommend Jeonwol Mountain.
If you're living in Sejong, the obvious recommendation is to take a day trip to Daejeon, the closest city. We already made a video on what to do in Daejeon, so instead, we're recommending a quick ride to the neighboring city of Jochiwon. This is still a part of Sejong and is only 20 minutes by bus. This quiet town has a really great traditional market, which Sejong proper doesn't have. Here, you can even buy every Korean staple from street foods to kimchi and banchan, and all sorts of household needs. Next door is a traditional themed street where you can take pictures in areas like 1980s Korea. You can even rent uniforms to take pictures in. And no visit to Jochiwon is complete without the local specialty fried chicken with green onions. You can order takeout at the market, but we chose this amazing sit-down restaurant to try it out.
To be honest, we didn't know Sejong had a reservoir until making this list, but you learn something new every day. If you want to escape the high rises, we recommend Gobok Reservoir over Lake Park because of the lovely mountain surroundings and isolated area. There are boardwalks in all direction around the reservoir, and there are so many beautiful cafes. We bet you could see a great sunset here. Unfortunately, it rained us out, but we do not regret coming. This is a great place to spend some time outside of the city and can be easily paired with a visit to Byamsa or Jochiwon. The area is harder to access without a car with an hour bus ride from the city, so we recommend visiting Gobok Reservoir as part of a day trip, but it's well worth the visit. So that's the entire list, but we have a few bonus items that weren't quite big enough to make their own item, but we still think are pretty cool. First is Milmaru Observatory. This observation tower is located on a hill in the center of the city. From here you can see the entire government complex as well as Lake Park and many neighborhoods of the city. The tower kind of appears small, but it's actually quite high and offers a really good view. The only reason it's not a main attraction is because once you've seen the view, there's not much else to do there, so you only need a few minutes up at the top. The next bonus item is this round bridge. This park is literally just a big round bridge. It's one of the more iconic bits of architecture in the city, but I can hardly find any information about it. There's a cycling track on the lower level, and on top are lots of sitting areas, cafes, and in the summer, some green spaces. There's even a weird small skate park underneath the bridge, and you can climb up on top of the bridge, and there's a cool little observation deck. Okay, so that concludes our list of things to do in Sejong.
If you thought that we forgot something, please comment down below and tell us what we should check out, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below.
We hope this helped you find something to do. Thanks for watching. Bye. I don't know.